Me, Dan.
Oh, hi.
Boy, am I glad to run into you.
I just walked all the way to the end of town and back because I'm afraid to take the bus.
I know. I'm only out here because my wife sent me out on an emergency errand.
I walked all the way to the new Don Pedro, and all they had were these silly paper masks. You think these things even do anything? My feet are killing me.
So, I just bought a bottle of locally made hand sanitizer, and I read on Civilist that some of it's poisons.
I got some of that too, and now I'm afraid to use it. I'm wondering if we're making a mistake staying here in Mexico. So many gringos have gone back.
I know, I was wondering the same thing. Hey, did you get my email?
About a present?
Yeah, remember? Back in the day before all this craziness? You had that big birthday party and I gave you that book.
I remember. Funny book.
Yeah, well anyway, the guy who wrote it, the author, he's back in town, Mark Sanders.
Saunders, I think.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Well anyway, he's back in town and my wife ran into his wife, Arlene, and she invited them over, you know, for some social distancing on the terrace tonight. And I was thinking it'd be great to have that book back in case the subject came up.
Nobody knows the Spanish I speak.
That's it. Plus, there are some points I'd like to revisit.
Wait a minute. You read the book before you gave it to me?
Well, some of it.
Then you gifted it to me?
I thought you'd enjoy it.
A lot of times, Dan, when people give books as presents, they give new books.
Oh, well, I only read part of it, so I think technically it's only partly used. I mean, maybe a better term is previously owned. In any event, a book is not a consumable like food.
You know, those coffee stains on the title page argue against your point.
You know, I think the library has a copy, but they're locked up till who knows when. It'd be really great if I could borrow that back from you.
So you can read the rest of it by tonight?
As much as I can.
And then what? I suppose it would just happen to be on the coffee table?
Well, actually, I was thinking on the shelf below, there's a glass top and you can see through to what's underneath.
That's clever. You know, I enjoyed the inscription you wrote in it, Vaya con Nacho.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I didn't inscribe it.
I thought you did.
No, Mark did after his talk. He inscribed the book.
Because, you know, when I read it out loud at the party, everybody laughed, and, well, I couldn't make out the signature, so I just assumed Vaya con Nacho was something that you came up with.
You did?
Yeah, I think everybody thought that.
Huh. Well, I could see how that could happen. But you know, Jeff, books inscribed by authors, that's a big deal. I mean, they're more valuable. They become collector's items.
That book did get me wondering if I can still call Mexico home.
Yeah, I know, it's very timely. So, can I borrow it back?
No can do.
Why not?
I gave it away.
Seriously? You regifted it?
Well, I didn't pretend like it was a new book.
And you're still accusing me of giving you a used birthday present.
You just said you read it.
Well, that's a problem. I only read the beginning, and then Mark and Arlene moved away.
And you didn't feel the need to finish the book.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not really big into reading. So if you don't mind my asking, who'd you give it to?
Susan.
Oh, okay, she's approachable.
But she lent it to a girlfriend.
No. Did she say who?
I don't know this woman. I want to say Karen, but she changed her name because of that Karen being an entitled person business up north. Susan said she needed to get away, get a fresh start. Anyway, now she's back. She's in a rental. There's no internet, nothing to read. So Susan lent her the book. Ah, Brianna, that's her new name. Dan, I don't think you should be so close.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Hey, do either of you speak English?
Yeah, we both do.
Oh, thank God. You can't imagine the trouble I'm having. Nobody in this country understands my Spanish. I'm looking for prolongación de Aldama.
Well, this is Aldama. If you keep going straight, it turns into Prolongación de Aldama.
Oh, great, thanks. There was a rumor on the internet that a bodega
Sorry to be here.
No, have you been to the States recently?
Dan and I, we're not sure which is worse.
Oh, it's not even close. My family keeps telling me Mexico is a bad place to be right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
But it isn't as if the United States is a picnic. It's a civil war up there. Everybody's finger pointing. Okay, maybe I'm sounding like a Karen, but I don't think it's wrong to expect certain creature comforts like toilet paper. It's been last resort tactics ever since I ran out. Global warming, pandemics, supply chains. They all sound like abstract concepts until your supply of toilet paper runs out, right? I may do for a while in the local manner using newsprint. Then the Attention stopped publishing. Desperate times calls for desperate actions.
Well, you'd better hurry. I just got back from there, and there's a big crowd out front. They're limiting it to 1 roll per customer.
Yikes. Okay, stay safe. Vaya con Nacho.
Hey, wait a minute. You wouldn't happen to be Rihanna, would you?
Oh, I do go by Rihanna now.
The woman who borrowed my book?
Well, to be precise, Dan, it is my book.
Oh, nobody understands my Spanish book. I loved it. I hope Susan isn't expecting it back.
Well, actually,
You must be Jeff. Susan said you're the one that inscribed it to her. Vaya con Nacho. That's funny stuff.
wait. Jeff, you took credit for that line?
Well, I can see how its provenance might get fuzzy.
Hi, Rihanna, I'm Dan. Oh, I'm sorry. So, look, do you still have the book?
Kind of.
Not yes or no?
Well, yeah, see, okay. I know this may sound like the end of civilization, but like I said, desperate times. Anyway, that book must have been made out of recycled paper or something. It's a far cry from Charmin. More like sandpaper.
Ew.
Wait. We're still talking about the same book, right?
I'm not proud of this.
The one with the cute cactuses on the cover and the overloaded roof rack on the car?
I'm developing calluses in ways you don't even want to know.
You see that, Dan? It turns out your book actually is a consumable item.
I hope none of this gets back to Mark Saunders, the author. He's a friend of mine. Well, sort of, anyway, I'd like him to be. It's a bit disrespectful.
Oh, it's a lot disrespectful.
I did read it first.
Well, that's more than Dan here can say.
Well, how much of it is left, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm up to, how are things in Dr. Mora? I've been rationing just a few pages a day. I'm not wasteful.
Well, what would it take for you to loan it back to me?
Dan, what are you going to do with half a book?
Well, you need to make some pithy observations about something that happens later in the story, and then, I don't know, steer the conversation to some hot-button topic, like, should we refuse a breathing tube, or how long do you really need to wash your hands? I mean, no one's got a long attention span right now. It shouldn't be difficult, as long as Mark thinks I read the whole thing.
I'm sure he'll be your best friend forever, your BFF.
Geez, I don't know. If I give you that book and I don't get to that store in time, I'm up the proverbial creek.
What would you say if I offered you 1 roll of genuine, unopened Costco toilet paper in exchange?
Seriously?
It's double ply.
You have it with you now?
Indeed I do, fresh from the bodega.
Deal. I think the pages are basically in order.
What happened to the cover?
There are some things you can't unknow, Jeff.
Understood. Ugh. Guys, safety first, all right? I still got some of the good stuff here. You gotta steer clear of the bootleg Purell, Rihanna.
So I've heard. Well, nice to meet you. Gun 6 with the TP and Vaya con Nacho.
Vaya con Nacho, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
It's definitely good to be back.
Well, Dan, problem solved.
Not entirely, Jeff. Pick up. Oh, hey, Mark, how's it going? Yeah, me too. It's Dan. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, hey, remember that bottle of wine that you offered to bring over tonight? Ooh, vintage? Sounds pricey. Hey, but what I was wondering was, instead of a bottle of wine, could you bring a roll of toilet paper?